It is now 10:51 Eastern Time. That means Brian Kilmeade joins us. All right, Brian, White House Dr. Kevin O'Connor gave an update, I should say, about Biden's health following his COVID. He claims Biden's vitals are absolutely normal. Kamala Harris also said Biden's feeling much better. I want to see the president. I want to know if he's capable of running the country, because is there something of a cover-up going on here about Biden's true state?
Couple of things, Stuart. I think he's coming back to the White House this afternoon. That's what I heard from our reporter. Okay, well, so I guess we'll see him. He's going to eventually address his situation and his decision. But the stories behind the scenes, you know what he was saying. I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. Look at my schedule. I'll sit down with Stephanopoulos. I'll sit down with Lester Holt. I'll sit down with Ed Gordon of the BET network. I'm going to do appearances. I'm going to address NATO. I'm going to do a press conference. That's a guy that wants to stay. So what happened? What type of leverage did they use to force him out? Because keep in mind, he's got nowhere to go. He's 81 years old. He doesn't need another job. I'm pretty sure he's got a pension and Social Security, what's left of it. So didn't kill that yet. So something happened behind the scenes to force him out and take his 34% approval rating and his vice president, who's got 34% approval rating, and then leave everything to her. I mean, she literally took over his office. They just took the name off the door. She took his entire staff, and now is running for president.
So what's your theory?
And he's on a speakerphone to say, oh, it's okay.
What's your theory about why it happened? Why did he go from a guy who wanted to stay, suddenly a guy who's gone? What's your theory?
Well, a couple of things that you can relate to, and that's money. All the donors have stopped giving, and then you have everyone jumping ship, and then you have a situation where the only thing you have left is Jill, Hunter, Steve Verchetti, and Mike Donilon. And you look around and said, I haven't done enough to quell the uprising. I have no choice. I'm going to go, and I'm not going to be able to turn this thing around. I got a DNC, and I even have nobody who wants to speak on my behalf.
Yeah.
So either that, or it's Nancy Pelosi saying, I'll 25th Amendment you. And that's pretty much what the New York Post says today.
Yeah,
and did you read the Wall Street Journal?
Yep.
They chronicle all the times behind the scenes where he's fallen short in front of friendly audiences. 2021, when he comes and starts to explain the infrastructure deal, why he needs $1 trillion. He gets up to explain to his caucus, and he makes absolutely no sense. And Nancy Pelosi's got to get up and finish it up.
Yep.
Our allies and diplomats on different meetings, not being able to show up, and for 5 days only going to 2 meetings when overseas in Lithuania. But now all these stories are coming out.
Yeah, but
I sense they were going to get worse.
But he's the president for another 5, nearly 6 months.
Politically, it behooves the Republicans to leave him exactly where he is. But for the country,
right,
clearly he's not up to the game.
Right.
And clearly he's not up to the job. He said one of the things to donors, one thing I'm doing is working too hard. I'm going to get up a little bit later. I'm going to end the day a little bit earlier. Fantastic. The anti-American work ethic, front and center, by the most powerful man in America. That should have been the red flag. But politically, the Republicans would not benefit from Kamala Harris having Air Force One and looking like the first female president of the United States. But for the country, he probably should go.
Kamala Harris has likened Trump to the criminals that she used to prosecute when she was the Attorney General in California. She's attacking Trump, the person, as opposed to Trump's policies. Is she trying to out-Trump Trump, going after him personally?
Really? America knows Donald Trump. America doesn't need it defined by anybody, whether it's Joe Biden, Barack Obama, or Kamala Harris. Number two is, do you really want to examine those New York cases and underline the fact how corrupt they were, how politically motivated they remain? And every time people looked at those cases, Trump got more money. So the money flowed in after the conviction. You want to go back there? Well, by the way, the immunity ruling that came out of the Supreme Court, soon they're going to be revisiting the New York case because a lot of that stuff was done when he was president. So when you talk convicted felon, don't be surprised if suddenly that's not going to work anymore or be accurate, and maybe focus more on what Hunter Biden's going to be looking at in September and what he experienced already 3 weeks ago.
Politics is just fascinating, isn't it? Brian Kilmeade, you're all right?
Especially now.
Especially now. I'll see you again soon. Thanks, Brian.